And now, BillyCBoxing.com presents Thumbs Up, Thumbs Down with Billy C. Here he is, Billy C.
We're coming at you from the Billy C studio in Lake George, New York. I'm Bill Calogero, and it's time for BillyCBoxing.com. Pro boxing, thumbs up and thumbs down for today, June 22nd in the year 2012. Hey, I just want to give everybody a heads up. We're going to give you a special sponsorship today. I don't know what we want to call it, but there's going to be a new show out. That's right. I know all you guys are boxing fans, but I know that there's some other fans out there that watch and listen to our shows that like sports in general. And if that's you, especially if you're a New Yorker or if you're a New York transplant or if you're just a New York sports fan, you need to know about our new show. It's called Talkin', of course, Talkin', Talkin' New York Sports with Billy C. and Brooklyn Mikey. That's right. Brooklyn Mike and myself are going to be doing a New York sports talk show. And we're going to be kicking it off. It's going to be aired live. It's going to also be available via YouTube and podcasts and every other vehicle that we can get it on right after the Major League Baseball All-Star break. So as soon that first Saturday that comes after the All-Star break, tune in and check us out because I think you're going to like it. All right, enough of that. Let's talk boxing. I only got 2 thumbs up. I got 1 thumb up and actually 2 thumbs up and 1 thumbs down today for June 22nd. Thumbs up goes to Andre Ward, Chad Dawson, and their promoters, Goose and Tudor and Gary Shaw Promotions, respectively, putting 2 young fighters who are both world champions against each other. This may not be the most popular fight outside of us, the true boxing fans, but it's a great fight for the sport of boxing. This is what we need, and I applaud all these guys for making it happen. I think now it's up to us, the boxing fans, to make it a success in terms of watching it either live in California or on TV, but more importantly, we need to talk about it. We need to start I got to steal a line from Gus D'Amato, the late, great Gus D'Amato, when he said, we got to take this fight, look at it as a spark. All right, we're going to take this fight as a spark, and we want to turn it into a flame and then into a raging fire. He had made that statement about building up Mike Tyson, and I think we need to take that train of thought and treat this fight like that. Okay, the fight itself is a pretty good spark for us. You know, it's up to us, the boxing fans, to make it something bigger than what it is. I would like to see, the marginal sports fan, the guy who talks about the Manny Pacquiao and the Floyd Mayweather fights after them, the guy who is talking about football and baseball, but not so much about boxing, that same guy that's probably never heard of Chad Dawson or Andre Ward. We want to get those guys into this fight because we all know, us, the true boxing fan, that Andre Ward against Chad Dawson is a great fight. This should be the norm and not the exception. We shouldn't have to be jumping for joy when we put 2 great young fighters in their prime against each other, but yet we are. And I think it's our part. I think the promoters and the fighters did their part. They signed the paper, the fight's on. Now I think we need to do our part and talk about this fight in a positive way or a negative way. It doesn't matter as long as we talk about it. Get it out there, start talking about it to other people, and hopefully this fight will make a splash, and maybe it will open up the doors for better fights like this to happen in the future. I give a thumbs up to all of those guys, Goose and Tudor, Gary Shaw, and, of course, the fighters themselves, Andre Ward and Chad Dawson. I also give a thumbs up to Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Why? For being the topic of discussion. Now, listen, the topics have split between being positive and negative, but you know what? The bottom line is besides Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Manny Pacquiao, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. has become that next guy. Now, I know that there's a lot of reasons why. He's got his father's name and everything else, and, there's some negativity surrounding him with some PP tests and all of this stuff. But you know what the bottom line is? The bottom line is simply this. He's the next biggest name. Now, whether you like him or not, whether you think he's good or whether you don't, the thing is that as far as recognition, the next guy after Mayweather and Pacquiao is Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Some people might think it's Saul Alvarez, but you know what? Only true boxing fans have heard of Saul Alvarez. Almost everybody's heard of Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. They've definitely heard of his father. Listen, I give him a thumbs up for putting himself in that position. And you know what? Whether you like him or not, you also got to give some credit to Bob Arum and Top Rank for putting him in that position. So thumbs up to Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. and his whole team for making him, in my opinion, that next popular fighter. Now, thumbs down, really, I only have one. And I got into it just at the end of the show. And this has to go down to, the thumbs down has to go out to Team Randall Baily, predominantly his manager, Cesar. Why? Well, Randall Baily did a great job by knocking out Mike Jones. Nobody gave him much of a chance. We did on this show. We said we better watch out for him. I was critical of the announcing team. They were critical of the fight. They were saying how boring it is. It's boring, it's boring, it's boring. And then, bam, Randall Baily knocks out his opponent devastatingly. I'm shocked that Mike Jones's head didn't come off his body, for God's sakes. I mean, it was a devastating punch. So far, knockout of the year. Two things. Number one, the announcing team, they obviously never watched Randall Baily because every one of his fights were like that. That's what he does. He headhunts you and knocks you out. But the reason why I'm giving him a thumbs down is because Cy Stern, who's his manager, set a press release out yesterday that basically was telling everyone that Randall Baily deserves big money. Don't even call him unless you're be offering him a $1 million purse. The bottom line is he laughed at an offer in Europe for $500,000, and after all, everybody in the world wants his IBF belt. Huh? Cy Stern, don't be such a fool. Nobody cares about the IBF belt, and you just shot your fighter in the foot. What you're supposed to do, in case you don't know how to negotiate, Mr. Stern, is you're supposed to wait for the calls to come in. Then you negotiate price. What this guy just did is he scared away potential people. And after all, he's on a short list because what will happen is that he's only got a very small window of opportunity to fight anybody before the IBF sticks some mandatory fight on him. And if nobody picks up the mandatory fight, you know what happens? It goes to a purse bid. And once it goes to a purse bid, either you fight for whoever wins the purse bid or you get stripped. So the guy just shot himself in the foot. What you should have done, Mr. Stern, is wait for them to call you. Then you laugh at their first offer and you get the money up from there. And you work on getting the purse. What you just did shot a hole right in your pocketbook, man, because ultimately you're going to lose too. I give a thumbs down to Team Baily, predominantly his manager, for going in public and putting a price tag on the so-called coveted IBF belt, which quite frankly, the belt value is going down quicker than the Titanic sunk, especially the IBF. In my opinion, the WBC, IBF, and WBA aren't even the top sanctioning bodies anymore. I actually have the WBO, IBO first and second, and then I have to squeeze in the IBF, WBA, and the WBC has sunk down, although the WBC might be moving up a little bit with some of the great ideas that we talked about yesterday. But anyway, thumbs down to Randall Baily. That concludes our thumbs up, thumbs down for today. Make sure you tune in Monday morning when we got our next episode. Enjoy the fights this weekend. Have a great weekend. Ciao, baby.